Hey, okay, we're live. Hello out there. That took a while, which is why I was pausing and staring into the corner. Welcome to the Gilmore Girl Reviewcap, brought to you by the Bubblegum Social Club. I'm here with Laura. Hi, Laura.
Hello.
Um, we think we've sorted out any sound issues. If there are any sound issues, we're going to stop and then start again, and then maybe later I'll stitch them two together, but I probably won't because I am tired. And
Life.
busy. Life indeed. Yeah. Oh my goodness, life. All right, great life. Anyway, can I just say real quick that Chris, I don't think I've shown you this yet, but I'll show you after. Chris Evans' Twitter account is the best. I just needed to say that. That's just like check the date, check Chris Evans' Twitter account. You can see how I feel about certain things. Anyway, so we're gonna talk about the first episode of Gilmore Girls, which again, if you watch the last episode, is like one of Laura's favorite show of all time.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Although Black Mirror has gotten me now.
Oh, really? Okay. I've seen one episode of Black Mirror and it was good, but it was also not a thing that I felt a need to watch ever again.
You want to be like depressed after watching every episode? Like, totally do it.
But it wasn't even like,
There's only
oh, are you there?
There's only one episode that I think was not depressing.
Yeah, there's one episode I've seen people talk about that I want to check out, but other than that, I'm kind of like, you guys do that. I'll stay over here and watch reruns of Leverage, which I've started watching through from season 1 on Netflix because that's my new favorite show. Very Robin Hood, very steal from the rich and give to the poor. It's good. I like it. It cheers me up when I'm sad. So yes, Gilmore Girls. Let me just try to do a quick synopsis since I'm the newbie here. I knew that it was going to be like rapid fire, but it was so much more than I thought it was going to be. But it also is very much like, okay, like slice of life, like here are these people doing their thing. Just go along with it. And I was like, oh, this is kind of nice. I'm so used to like TV shows being like, and then there's this person who does this. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And this one is more like, oh, I have to suss out what everybody's job is. Anyway, so this is Sophia's brief synopsis that I keep talking. I'm going to stop. That there's Lorelai, which is the mom, right?
Lorelai, yes.
Okay. I'm so bad with names, guys. Laura, and then Rory, which is the daughter.
Also Lorelai, technically.
Technically, right. We learned that at some point. And Lorelai had Rory when she was 16, or she got pregnant at 16. And Rory is like super studious, isn't in with the in crowd, doesn't like boys don't notice her, which becomes important later. And I'm going to yell about it quietly so I don't hurt your ears. I'm so like mad. I like texted Laura like, what? No. Anyway, and so she gets accepted to a very prestigious school, and the mom works at an inn as like the manager, I guess.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And she has a friend in the kitchen who hurts herself for reasons that I don't know. I was kind of like, is this random slapstick or is this going to be sad at some point? I was very confused by that. I was sitting there like, why did she fall? Is there a reason that she fell? That's not explained. Okay, moving on. So she gets accepted to this Chilton, which I guess is super fancy private school. I'm sure we'll find out. And then the bill comes for the school. Predictably, it's way more than she expected it to be. Totally saw that coming. I wonder why. And so she has to go to so the mom, Lorelai, has to go to her rich parents to ask for money. And the parents, they have some issues with each other, some of which are understandable, some of which are just people being terrible. And so the conditions of them giving her money for the school is that they have to go every Friday to the parents' house for dinner. And she has to know what's going on in their lives because I guess they only go for holidays. Okay, so then
That'd be so nice.
Huh?
So that would be so nice. Just holidays.
So then the part that I get upset about is baby Sam Winchester, aka Dean. So the actor, what's his name?
Jared Padalecki.
Yeah, Jared Padalecki. So he is in this show, and he's like a teenager, I think, or a very like early 20s.
Young person.
Yeah, very young. His voice is like totally different, which is hilarious.
It's still different. I don't understand. I'm just like, wait a minute. Puberty after Gilmore Girls?
I think that it comes in stages. Like, like one of my cousins who he just kept getting taller, and I'm pretty sure he's still getting taller. Either that or my bones are way weaker, which is not true because I got them checked recently. My bones are doing great. So I was like, stop growing. You're in your mid-20s. Stop it. If you're watching this, stop it. Yeah, so he shows up and he's got pseudo bad boy attire, more like poor kid, not poor, but like, that sounded terrible. But like in terms of like TV show signifiers, he looks like he's a bad boy from a family who maybe doesn't have as much money for fancy clothes. Well, as opposed to like a bad boy who like looks like he's from the, millennial generation. Sorry, what did you say?
He has to get a job. I would assume his parents don't have money.
Exactly. Yes, he does have to get the job. And they go ask the dance teacher. That whole part is like so ridiculous where she's like talking to him and she's like, this place has cakes. Cakes are great. And he's all like, I've been watching you. I mean, not in a creepy way. And I'm like, you're cute and you're charming. You're lucky about that because that's super creepy. I know what you mean. But also like, yeah, he corrects himself and says, I was noticing you, which is much better. And she's all like, boy, attention, hormones. I can't leave the school because this boy may never you live in the same town. You live in the same town. You live in the same town. There's like a whole grand total of maybe 20 people in this town. You will see him again. Oh my God. Anyway, the reason I'm upset is because she goes home and says, I don't even want to go to the school anyway. Whose dumb idea was this? And her mom's like, what is happening? Where did this come from? And then they yell at each other. It's like their first big fight from what I gathered because they're like super codependent. And then they go to the parents' house and it's a disaster-ish. And then, she reveals that it's a boy and then it's like the end of the episode. That was probably a lot longer than I meant it to be, but I like to give people enough information to work off of, but I just so upset about the boy. But you should go and say anything you want to say. How was it rewatching it or like your memories of it?
It was really interesting because I was just like, man, they're so little and they're like little babies and it's so adorable because they're so little. But actually, it's funny when the guy's hitting on Lorelai at Luke's, my dog started barking like crazy at him. Like anytime his face popped up on the screen, she was like going after that pedo like crazy. So that was pretty funny because I didn't have a dog the first time I watched it. So I didn't have anyone barking at the bad guy. She also barks at Donald Trump. She hates when he comes on the screen.
She has good taste. Does that guy show up later? The guy?
No, he's just like a random.
Yeah. Okay.
The fact that there's like not a very big age difference between Lorelai and Rory, which you pick up later anyways, but it's more apparent when he hits on like both of them.
Yeah, I guess I don't know because like I know that there isn't supposed to be a huge age difference, but in my brain there is. So I was a little like, okay, sure, I see where you're going. I also can imagine they're totally dudes who would just like, hey, single girl, probably sitting there. I will hit on her, even though she's sitting at the exact same table where the mom said she was waiting for somebody. Anyway, he hits on the mom and then hits on the daughter, and then my favorite part where she's like, "Are you my new daddy?" And he's like, "Oh no."
I know. That part is so funny.
Or the part where he's like, well, I brought a friend. And I was like, dude. And then immediately she goes back with, she's 16. He's like, oh, we're leaving now. And I was like,
yeah.
So that was that. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I just said, you better get to stepping.
Yeah, like that part gave me hope for, I think I'm yelling, sorry. I'm not used to using this little microphone thing and we're working it out. But that part gave me hope. Like, I know that the series is serious, like a lot of people praise it. So I'm looking forward to watching it. But like that part was like this little shining gem in it. And the other part I really liked was when she was sitting, I guess, in her Jeep, like outside of her Jeep, deciding whether to go into the parents' house or not. And just something about the whole setup of that, like, I was like, she's just sitting there, but I'm feeling so many emotions right now, just like watching her trying to figure out what to do next and how much she's willing to go through. And then I'm so angry about her daughter being like, boy, must cancel all my plans, which I've done things like that. I understand what that feels like. But I was also that weirdo girl in high school who was like, boyfriend's not going to get in the way of me doing anything that I want to do. And, you know, I'm single, so, you know.
Well, I like how at the end she like realizes, she's like, oh, my mom sacrificed a lot, and she's like, sit around, and she's like, okay, going to school, you know, and then her mom's like, really? Thank you.
Yeah, because she has to the parents are mean to her. Wow. And we were just talking about this before we started the broadcast that I was surprised because I know that the dad slash grandfather is really beloved. Um, and I've seen a lot of gifs of him being like really kind and sweet and supportive. So to see him be cutting the Lorelai down so like fast and like efficiently, I was like, whoa, wow. I thought the mom was supposed to be the worst one, but the dad, like the mom, I can kind of see because she's just like, I just want to be part of your life, and I do get where she's like, you know, you should have done what I said because that was right. Like I totally like, no, lady, stop. You're making it worse. But the way that dad was just like, oh, let me bring up the worst thing. Let me bring up like the father of your daughter and then praise him and cut you down. I was like, what? No, don't do that. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with you? And then he fell asleep at the dinner table.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. So I do see, because you know the only episode I've seen like little tiny bits of like maybe 2 episodes, and one of them was where I'm sure all my swallowing noises are picking up on the microphone, so I'm so sorry. I'll try to hold it away. It's allergy season, okay, guys. She was hanging out with Dean, not Winchester. Dean, Gilmore Girls Dean. Sorry, it's confusing because of the supernatural connection and there's
Yeah.
Dean and Sam and Dean. Anyway,
Yes.
young dude Dean there is hanging out with so the episode that I saw, she like they fell asleep somewhere and then she didn't get home and she
Oh,
was
is
like,
that for the dance?
so yeah, and I remember seeing that and thinking like why so upset, like I because I didn't have any context for the mom being like a young mother and everything. So I was like, why would the mom be so angry if it was a mistake? Also, you know, it kind of shows what my childhood was like. I also never did anything like that, but I didn't get out much. I still don't. It's great. So I
Well,
just
I've fallen asleep on accident at house in high school, I'm sure. So,
yeah, but like you actually talked to people. Like you knew who people were at school. Whenever people remember me, I'm always like, oh, you know who oh, you remember me from high school? Which hasn't ever actually happened. So like the only people that like seem to really like that I only interact with like remember me and like I'm never on Facebook either, so I just kind of assume people forget about me because I wasn't like part of the main group. I'm sure I've talked about this before.
I was just so and so's ex-girlfriend. So,
Yeah, but you also like yeah, but you knew people in choir and you had known people from before, like because I came from out of town, so yeah. And you also talked to people. I didn't talk to anybody. I talked to you because you like ambushed me in choir.
I'm really good at that.
You are. It's good. You are like I'm the Ted and you're the Barney is basically from How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's true. Yeah. I overthink things and you get things done. And yeah,
But I
it's true.
also overthink things.
Yeah, but you also actually get things done.
I can actually get things done though. Like I don't really know what I've gotten done.
I just we had an experience at Disneyland in September, I think, and you definitely took care of me, so
Okay, if that's where we're going with this, okay.
I don't want to talk about it. I'm going to make a video about it later. Just be like, that happened. But yes, so Laura's the best, is what I'm saying. Anyway, back to the show. Yeah, so I did really like it. It's very dated, obviously.
Well, because it was so long ago. That Macy Gray song, I was like, this song is so old.
All the songs that they like, what's the word that they like featured were so 90s, and I was just like, or early 2000s, I don't know, and I was just like, this is pretty amazing.
That's when it started.
I know. Well, like even Leverage, which started in 2008, I want to say. I'm not sure. Like the first season is super dated, and it's like it's so weird how quickly, as an adult, how quickly things get dated that you watched. Even like the first season of Doctor Who, like you gotta kind of push past of the new
Yeah.
Doctor Who. You gotta like get through that to get to the good stuff because it's like this is super dated. But
Yeah.
yeah, but despite that, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, rewatching Friends is like that. I'm like, oh, I don't think I like this. Like, I liked it when it was on. It was really funny. But now I'm like, do I really like it? It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Friends is interesting,
I'm
but
like a little misogynistic and a little weird.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. But for this, I did feel um like I was watching a story unfold, which I really enjoyed, and it wasn't just like a lot of sitcoms. It's so funny when you like stop watching sitcoms and then like kind of pick one up here and there, how like you can really see the formula of every episode, which isn't a bad thing. Like a lot of procedural shows are like that, and I like being like when me and my dad would watch like the kind of find out the murder of the week or the mystery of the week shows, we would like check to see the time, be like, okay, well that can't be the murder because we still have like 10 minutes left, so they're gonna figure out who really did it.
Yeah.
But like with this, it's just so like it just flows into the next thing. Everything kind of flows into the next thing, and I did like that. And like does the friend stay like was a Korean friend whose like mom hates Rory and wants her to marry a proctologist?
Does she stay through the series?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you
Okay.
get to see them like grow as friends and also have like fights because of boys and such. Yeah, so it's really fun. And then you see her later, like she kind of gets her shit together, like before Rory does. Like she's got like a life, like she creates like her family life, and then Rory's kind of like, oh, I still like need to do that. Still need to figure it out because I think she got. Sorry, spoilers.
Yeah, I was wondering because she seemed not shoehorned in, but sort of like the kind of character that a show might drop as things change over time, because pilots are weird and things change after they do things like that. I don't know if is this the pilot or is this something?
Yeah, that's a pilot. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so sometimes people leave or they whatever. So I was kind of curious if she was going to come back because I liked her a lot. She seemed a lot more centered than and aware of the world than Rory was. And it's funny because like I'm sure that in high school I would have identified with her to a certain extent. I have a weird, not rebellious streak, as you know, because I love following the rules, but more of a like anti-establishment, I guess. Not exactly, because I like working with rules. Again, I think rules are good, but just sort of like it has to be fair, and there has to be a reason that is a good reason for things. And I guess the idea of going to like an elite private school would just be like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Why. Yeah. The only private school I ever went to was very much a hippie private school. So I would have been like, you wanted me to wear a plaid uniform skirt thing? That doesn't sound, no, I don't, yeah. Thanks.
I went to private school, but we didn't have to wear that.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying anything against private schools. I don't have a problem with them.
Oh,
but
no,
I
have things against private schools. There's definitely things against them.
No, but I'm just saying, like, watching this show, like, trying to, like, bring myself back to high school and watching this show, I'm sure I would have been like, oh, I like that she's bookish. I mean, like, Belle's one of my favorite princesses because of the whole book thing. But I think I still would have been like, she's really into, I think even as my own naive self, I would have been like, she seems really not completely there yet. So, yeah. But I've seen the commercials for the new season. That's, when's it coming out? Do you know?
November 25th.
Okay.
Oh
my God.
Thanksgiving. Black Friday.
Wow. So I've seen the trailer for that, and she seems much more centered. So I'm like, cool. I know where we're going. I'm ready for the ride. I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, and that was also her first, I think, acting job. So she was like really green. So I think that's also kind of like playing into, she might have been more timid when she first started out. Also, I read something funny that the reason why Lorelai has her arm around her so much during the first season is because she didn't know how to find her like mark. So like Lorelai just kind of guided her. Like so she was her mom, but also like her stage mom, like trying to like guide her to like where she was supposed to stand for
Yeah,
like
yeah.
certain because she had never really acted before.
That's so funny.
So that's fun.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Was disappointing with the revival thing. I was like, they aren't talking as fast, I don't think. And I'm like, what the heck? Did they cut their coffee intake? Like, why are they not like rapid fire, like just going at it? I was like, this is easy enough for normal people to watch.
I Yeah, that's funny. I didn't even notice that. I was too busy just being like, what? And then Dean shows up too for like a second. But it's so weird because I'm like, Sam Winchester. I can't. His voice is like he's such a baby, and it's so I don't understand. I was just sitting there like, what is happening on my
Even
TV
his
right now?
nose is different. Everything is different. I'm like, how is your face completely different?
This is why like anybody who's in their like early 20s who I mean there are people who are in their early 20s who are full on adults and like know what they're doing, but I'm always like you're still growing, so don't like assume you know everything yet. Like question what you're doing, think about it, think about the repercussions of what you're doing because you're still not I'm not saying that I know everything at 30 years old, but I tried to remember those points in my life where I thought I knew everything or I was like, yes, I'm an adult and been like, no, you're not. You're definitely not. But yeah, so it was fun. I really liked it. I could see myself being all like, I'm not gonna enjoy this. This is stupid, and then definitely enjoying it. So I'm happy I went into it thinking I'm probably gonna enjoy this instead of being a jerk about it.
Yeah, it was interesting to watch because I have watched it, I think, probably 2 times since the initial time. But then, every time I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that. Or, just
Yeah.
because I totally forgot that was not a nice lady, but I totally forgot that her dad was like that. And then I was like, oh yeah, that's right. He's not very nice in the beginning.
Yeah, he was very mean, like to Lorelai, and then just acting as if nothing. And I'm like, yeah, man, those rich people, they, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say when you were talking about I forgot her name, but the mom actress helping the daughter actress, that Robert Downey Jr. did the same thing in the Captain America: Civil War movie with Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man. That there's a scene where Tom Holland is supposed to scoot over so Robert Downey Jr. can sit down, and you can see it in the movie where he says like, "Okay, you move over there. I'm going to sit there." So he did it like in character in the scene, and Tom Holland just went with it. And it's once you know that, it's like super adorable.
Nice.
Yeah. So here's for like experienced actors helping out the youngins.
It made me want to binge watch like all of them though, because I was just like, I don't want to stop because I was like, okay, stop after the first one because you need to talk about it and you don't want to get ahead of yourself and think it's all like one big long episode because that's how I get with TV. It just keeps going on for 6 hours and it's one episode.
Yeah, basically. And it's funny because my cousin, I'm sharing a Netflix account, and my cousin who's in high school, she's watching it too, and I had to ask her because I noticed that somebody had been watching it, and I was like, would you mind if I watched the first episode and disrupt your your flow, your Netflix like queue thing? And she's like, yeah, it's fine. And so when I how they say like continue watching, so I had Gilmore Girls, and it was like season I think it was season 1 episode 8, and I was like, oh, she picked it up again. I'd be like, in a few weeks I can be like, hey, is it okay if I disrupt it again so I can watch the second episode?
Can't you set up like another person so then yours doesn't interrupt them?
Yeah, but I have to discuss it with the person whose account it is first.
Oh.
Yeah, it's complicated. It's complicated, but not. Anyway, I'll figure it out. But yeah, I was just cracking up because yeah, I hope they don't mind telling me the story. But her sister's like, she messed me up, so you can totally mess her up. And I was like, okay. Oh yeah. Anyway, yeah. So it's a good start. I really liked it. I enjoyed the characters. I think it kind of helps knowing that they're gonna grow. I mean, obviously they are. Even without the new season, I knew that. But whenever you start a new show, you never know if the characters are just gonna keep doing the same mistakes over and over and over and over and over again. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing, like, especially the dad change. Like, that was something I totally didn't expect. Also, what is up with, what's her name? The chef who's super famous now.
Yuki,
Just
yeah.
falling over and yeah, Melissa McCarthy. New Ghostbuster. What's up with her being super clumsy?
It's just a thing. Like that was, I don't know. And it kind of goes throughout, I think. From what I remember, she's like pretty much always, which I'm like, if you work in a kitchen, I don't know if I would keep you employed if you were a hazard and broke stuff all the time. But
Yeah.
that's just me.
Yeah,
Good
no, that was weird. That was so weird. And I think that they were just like, I think that's just like a TV people thing where they're like, we'll add this in and it'll be amazing and hilarious. And maybe it was like an early 2000s slash late 90s thing. But I was just like, this is just a little bit too much slapstick compared to the rest of the show.
I thought it was funny that everyone had to work around her. Like they all knew like she was going to mess up and like fixed it for her. And I'm like, why don't you just tell her to stop doing it instead of just enabling her to do whatever she wants? And
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I liked that part because it was so well choreographed, but just it took me out of the show a little bit to be like, why does this puzzle piece not feel like it fits into the rest of the story? Because especially later on, she's fine. Like she drives, she goes and gets them food, and everything is fine. But they set her up to seem like she would die if nobody was around her. And so I was like, you reached a little too far. You got a little too ahead of yourself with that one. But I'm gonna give it to you because it was funny. So. That's fine. Anything else you want to talk about?
Just watch more episodes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But also, like, don't quit like this prestigious thing that is like your dream that you've had a life because you meet one boy, one cute
No,
person.
she's not.
I don't care. It makes me mad. I'm not okay with that. Don't do that.
She's 16, Sophia. She's 16.
Yeah, I know. But like at 16, you remember, I was like, no man's going to tell me what to do.
Yes, and there's other 16-year-olds who are different. That's the joy of being a teenager.
It makes me upset because, well, okay, if she had been like, I don't want to go to an event because cute boy, but like, I don't want to go to a prestigious school in which all my dreams and hopes are based on because cute boy, that's just a lot to me. But I understand also why, because hormones and cute, dreamy Dean / Sam Winchester eyes. I do get that, but it's just as
later.
Yeah. Okay, I know. I just
No, just wait until later when she you're gonna get mad at her frequently.
I'm okay with that. Getting mad is good. It's healthy for the something. I'm sure, probably.
Well, because she's young and stupid, and then even when she's older, she's still kind of stupid and makes mistakes. But everyone makes mistakes, so it's kind of like showing, okay, we can make this mistake, but we can also still grow and learn and be better people.
Yeah,
so.
That's true. I think also because I care about other people, and I have made mistakes like that in the past. So I think that's why I'm reacting to, like, oh my god, all my journals from like high school, it's just like every page is about a boy. Let's just burn these. Let's just shred these. Let's make mulch out of them. Let's be thoughtful and make mulch. That seems like a good plan. Just glue in new pages, reuse the covers. It's fine. Everything's fine. So that's probably why I'm reacting so strongly, because it's very present in my mind. Like, think about what you're doing. Anyway, it's okay. I'll stop. All right. I was super looking forward to watching more of this. I'm like hooked now. So
Yay! Yes. It only took like how many years for this?
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay. So hopefully in the next month or January, we will have time to do another episode. This fall has been nuts, both personally and everywhere else in the world, from what I can tell. Oh, 2016 is almost over. Anyway, okay. Yes. So that's it. That's all we got. And we'll see you next time.
Yay! Bye. Bye.